Hi, my name's Daniel, Education Coordinator at Cape Jourimain Nature Center, and this is the second in a series of videos about environmental technology at Cape Jourimain. These videos were created in collaboration with Renouvelables NB, EOS Eco-Energy, and through the financial support of the Nouveau-Brunswick Environmental Trust Fund. Alright, hello everyone. In this video I'm going to be talking about Cape Jourimain's geothermal system, which is used to heat and cool the Nature Center's buildings. Right now I'm standing on the back deck of the Interpretation Center overlooking the staff parking area. And you can't tell by looking at it, but there are actually 20 geothermal wells buried right underneath here. And these are in addition to another 10 which are buried underneath the pathway in front of our entry pavilion. And it's these 30 geothermal wells that provide all of the heating and cooling for Cape Jourimain's public buildings. Like Cape Jourimain's other environmental technologies, the geothermal system was installed in the late 90s and early 2000s when the Nature Center was under construction. This system was purchased from Nordic Heating and Cooling, a local company based in Petitcodiac, New Brunswick. So the way that geothermal works is that it regulates the temperature by using the earth as a heat sink in the summer and a heat source in the winter. Unlike on the surface, where temperatures can vary wildly throughout the year, the temperature underground stays much more consistent. Each of the underground wells here are 45 meters deep and comprised of a back and forth network of closed loop tubing. These tubes are filled with a glycol water mixture, which is pumped back and forth from these underground wells into the buildings. In the winter, the glycol will absorb the heat from the earth and move it inside, while in the summer it will take the heat from the buildings and cool it underground. The reason the glycol is used instead of pure water is that it's a type of antifreeze, which means that there's no risk of it freezing in the winter and damaging the system. So where does the glycol from the geothermal wells enter the building, and how does it transfer to the air exchange? Well, let's head into the Interpretation Center's basement to find out. And just as we're walking down here, I'll briefly note that geothermal heating and cooling is just one type of geothermal technology. There is also geothermal power production, which is typically on a much larger industrial scale. Similar to other sources of power, it creates electricity by spinning turbines, but instead of burning fossil fuels, it uses the natural heat energy of the earth. And as a result of this, geothermal power produces minimal emissions and is considered a renewable and environmentally sustainable source of energy. The challenge is that due to the amount of energy that's required, geothermal power production requires areas where this heat energy is close to the surface, such as near natural geysers or tectonic fault lines. And so unfortunately, it's limited to where it can actually be used. So we're now down in the basement of the Interpretation Center, and the area with the geothermal doesn't have the best lighting, but there is a flashlight in here which is on, so hopefully we're able to see. So in front of me here, you can see along the floor these pipes coming in, and this is where the geothermal actually enters into the building. Above them on the wall, we have these lettered switches, which is what circulates the glycol through the system. When the geothermal is running, a timer will start and the switches will begin to move. This is how long it takes for the glycol to circulate through the tubing. Once they reach the end, the switches will slowly reset and the cycle continues. So once in the building, the glycol gets pumped into these heat exchange units, which is what's beside me, and I'll back up here so you can get a bit of a better look. And so this is where the heat or cool is actually pulled from the glycol and transferred to the building's forced air system, where it then gets vented through the building. And like any other heat system, we have a thermostat that we can use to set the temperature for desired level of comfort. In addition to regulating the temperature of the air, geothermal is also used to heat the building's hot water, which helps to reduce the cost of electricity. And so you can see over here the building's hot water tank. So that's a look at Cape Jourimain's geothermal system. It provides free or reduced cost hot water, year-round comfort, quiet operation, low energy use, and has a low environmental impact. The system that we have here at Cape Jourimain is quite large, but geothermal can also be used in private homes. Although it's often quite cost prohibitive, it can be a great sustainable alternative to other forms of heating and cooling. So thank you for watching this video. Please be sure to check out the rest in the series about environmental technologies at Cape Jourimain. You can find them on the Renouvelables NB website at renouvelablesnb.ca and on the Cape Jourimain website at www.capejourimain.ca.